We are back in
That's
time, not on that long, like a week or so, like before you guys go to Clench Jaws in the first place. You know, it's just like one of the regular meetings or whatever, and Goddard gets everybody down, and he says, you know, like you're talking about other stuff, and he says, oh, there's something else I wanted to bring up before we moved forward, and he said, Morgard, do you have it? And he said, and Morgard says, yep. And he pulls out like a big stack of papers and he kind of throws them on the table in the middle of you guys. And there are these pamphlets, these leaflets that are talking about the Silver Ravens and what the Silver Ravens are doing.
In a good way.
Silver Ravens.
In a good way. In a very good. In a good way. In the current Silver Ravens. And Gardner says, I came across these in. Well, I didn't personally come across them, but Morgard brought them to me, and we've been talking a bit about how we want to handle this. It definitely seems as though we've got an admirer, and it seems as though we've got an admirer who likes to use a quill, but the problem is it kind of runs counter to how we believe that the Ravens should be under the radar at the current time. So I wanted to bring it to you before I move forward, but what I'd like to do is I want to talk to this guy. I want to talk to this guy personally and bring him, you know, on board. I want to give him this access, because I don't think it's the right thing for this specific moment, but it will become very useful very soon to have someone, you know, to have a writer on board.
We know who this person is?
Yeah, his name is Hunter Kexton. Most of you actually might remember, or some of you might remember him as one of the people that we escaped that jail cell with. I was surprised because he never came to the protest afterwards, and you know, joined with the rebellion in full. But apparently he likes what we're doing anyway. So
I remember that gentleman. He seemed like a very capable fellow. I have no objections.
all right, should we bring it to a vote then?
Yep.
Just because in the car ride home, I established their perspectives on these things. Taylor, Lyra, and the rest of them kind of say things. Taylor says, yeah, you know, I think that this is a good idea, especially in the face of House Thrune and Redactors. You know, the only way that you can kind of that you can fight redaction is to record the histories and distribute them like mad, and so, you know, clearly this guy is going to do that, and if we bring him into the fold, it's just an easier way to accomplish everything. Mateo says, you know, I'm not super sold on this idea, especially if he's being given access to what we're doing, because it seems like it's kind of a gateway to letting too many people know what the Silver Ravens are up to. You know, I'm all for getting the word out and everything, but I don't want to give our enemies any more information than they already have in order to come after us. Vigo says, I don't think words are going to win this thing. I think it's fists. And then Lyra says,
I clap.
and then
I'll like this.
And then Lyra says, you know, there's only so much that I can do talking with people, you know, individually, right? And this would really help out, I think. This would really help out in our ability to, you know, distribute the word and get supporters on our side, especially when we do decide that we want to go public.
Well, are we ready to go public now?
Eh.
No,
Mateo
this
says that.
flashback.
So what's our? So we will get a journalist. I'm all for the potential of getting a journalist. Or what do we do with this journalist in the meantime?
He's writing about us anyway, correct? He has been making rumblings.
Where's he getting these information from?
Gondor says, to be honest, it's quite comprehensive. He's been keeping good track of everything that we've been doing. It seems as though he's, you know, just doing interviews and legwork and following up on...
Does he mention the Silver Ravens by name?
Yeah, I don't think it's a secret, right, that we
I thought it was
Have a
very much
name.
a secret.
Well, I don't think it's a secret that we have a name, right?
Oh, so he's naming the group, but not us.
Yeah.
Right.
Individually.
Yeah, he's not naming you guys individually. Morgar says.
But we can get him on
I-
board, but I want
I-
to know where he's getting his info.
Morgar says, yeah, I did my best to scoop up as many of these pamphlets as I possibly could. But the other half of it is, most of the distribution was in Red Roof because that was obviously where a lot of our action took place in the beginning. Obviously, saving those refugees, or not refugees, saving those tieflings made a big difference, and it made a very big splash. And I think that's kind of the thrust. So I don't fear that it's gotten too much farther than that.
Why don't we bring him, or do we know where he hangs out? Can we maybe like set up a meeting? I mean, we did meet the guy before.
That is Gondar's plan, correct?
Well, I would just suggest not bringing him to the Bellflower, whatever the place is.
It's the Long Roads.
Long Roads.
It's a tea house. Just say a tea house.
I mean, I think if we bring him here, if we need to deal with him, it would be the best place to do so.
Fair enough. It's more.
You know,
All right.
we've been risking our lives this whole time fighting and stuff. How do we know that this writer guy? How do we know he's gonna have the same level of enthusiasm?
I mean, he already
I
fought
mean-
with us once, to be fair.
Also, this is a bar.
Oh yeah, that's the same person.
Like we do not have to bring him into our secret chambers immediately. We can have him sit in the restaurant that exists above us.
To be honest, I've done quite a bit of scrying on him before brought it to the table, and I don't suspect that he's anything less than trustworthy. There's nothing in his behaviour to encourage doubt in his enthusiasm for our cause. So I personally don't have all that much of a problem in bringing him to the Long Roads.
What about his original campaign trait?
He still has that campaign
Yeah,
trait.
I still have it.
What was it?
It's Scholar of the Scholar.
History of the Rebellion.
Yeah.
And God says, and the more important thing to me is that we have someone recording the histories. The greatest failing of the original Silver Ravens is that we didn't write anything down. And so when the Redactors came through and they took away everything, the Silver Ravens faded to myth and legend over, less than a century. So, hopefully, having someone with a quill on board will help us prevent that from happening, even if we do lose out in the future. But we should vote. And Gondor votes yes, Lyra votes yes, Mateo and Vigo vote no, and Taylor votes yes.
I vote yes.
I'll vote yes as well.
So if he's an Alan Wake type XP, I would be one of the backwater type people that don't like no writer types. So I'd be like, I don't know, he's got to prove himself first.
Also, I think the knowledge that I'm the one who's writing the pamphlets might not be above ground.
It's not above ground in the context of it's not your name on them, right?
Right.
It's above ground in the sense that Gondor is an extremely powerful sorcerer who specializes in divination magic.
Okay.
So it's not tough for him to figure this shit out.
Right.
Gondor, is he a fighter?
From what I see, he's not the most honorable sort, but I think that he will. I think that he'll make a pretty good addition to you lot.
But does he know how to fight?
Yeah, he carries a long sword that it looks, I don't know, special in some way.
Is he good with it?
I don't know. I only saw him once, you know.
I just remember him throwing a lot of dirt around.
That's what I mean about being.
The Rider's a mudslinger.
That's what I mean about being a little bit less than honorable.
Yeah, seems weak. I say let's bring him on.
You say
I
it seems
think
weak
that's
with
the,
Weak towards bringing
Yeah, more fighting for me.
Oh.
Oh, I get it.
Okay, fair enough. That's the yeses have it. And then Mark. So Mark, you're in your apartment or whatever, and you're, just sitting at a desk writing a thing, and then like in a chair behind you, right? You just hear he says, Hunter St. Kixton. I was a little bit sad that you didn't take my invitation so many weeks ago.
Oh, really?
And then Gondor's just hanging out there. He's got his staff sitting in the chair.
So usually people knock when they want to come get an autograph.
I'm not looking for an autograph.
What's an autograph?
I'm looking to see if, first, I'm looking to get you to stop
But then maybe
Stop
start
what?
again.
the writing that you've been doing. I can
I-
appreciate the enthusiasm behind these pamphlets, but the Silver Ravens aren't quite in a place where we want our actions broadcast all about town. I'm sure you understand the danger that would befall us if the most wanted man in all of Kintargo, he says, referring to himself, obviously, his
The most Gary stew in all of Kintargo.
has these pamphlets find their way
Barzillai.
into the wrong hands.
Thing is, Barzillai Throon's a beast. He's got no integrity, no real sense of justice. So, honestly, the worst that's going to come of this is just he, how do you say, gets pissy and just incites further rebellion. Enough of this, hiding in the shadows bullshit. We need to start getting things going. People need to have a purpose.
I definitely think that you're on the right track, and I'm not here to threaten you, right? I'm not trying to say that you need to stop because I'm going to zap your brain or whatever else.
But he could.
He is gonna zap your brain though.
But more for fun.
But I do want to bring you on board. I want to trade keeping quiet for now, for access. I can bring you on to the Silver Ravens, and you can be a part of this organization from the ground up. The only thing that I ask of you is that you write down everything, and you make an accurate account of all of it, and you record as much as you possibly can, because I can tell you firsthand, I was one of the founders of the original Silver Ravens, and that was our biggest mistake. That was the thing that made us falter and fall after 8 decades, instead of being an institution that stays as part of Kintargo for forever.
Damn, you're old. He must know what he's talking about.
You might want to keep a better grasp on your things, because I got my hands on some of the scrolls and diaries. That's how I've been following this whole thing and kind of tracing it back to your little group.
I was figuring, so to speak,
But-
that you were following in different ways, but that's interesting.
Anyway, I've been trying to get a lot of first-hand knowledge, but I think getting on the front would be a pretty admirable course of action, personally. That said, I gotta make a living, and that means that I don't want to go back to jail, and I don't want to get killed for being a dissident. I like writing my books, I like the money it pays, I like the status it brings me. And, I don't know, I'm not really willing to give that up, just have some good scoop.
I'm not asking you to give that up for the rest of your life. I'm just asking you to give it up for a short time so that you can reap the rewards when we do come out of the shadows. And when we do bring down Barzillai Throon, you get to have all the status you want when you're one of the people who, puts a knife in his back.
Huh. I don't know about that, but I wouldn't mind writing about it. Gotta be in the moment to capture it.
Fair enough.
Let me think about it.
Alright, well, when you're done thinking about it, when you wake up, I suppose, go to a coffee house in the northern side of Kintargo called the Long Roads Coffee House, and find a woman named Maggie, she's the waitress there, and tell her that you'd like to order some pigeon pie. And then, abruptly, you, wake up because this has all been a dream.
Okay. I go ahead and spend a few days to go gather a Grey Gardener's uniform from Galt
Okay,
that I just kind of have in my possessions because I fled Galt.
gotcha.
So, yeah, I go ahead and kind of tailor it so it's
Oof.
not as obvious, like, you know, but it kind of evokes that feeling. You know, it's got a nice gray palette to it.
Mhm.
I put my hat on and I head down to the coffee house
Um,
and I place my order.
Lyra comes up and she says, "So, you know, you're the famous Hunter Kexton. I've just been,
No.
you know, sent up here to ask you a question. Are you in? You out?"
Hunter Kexton's not in, but I am.
Fair enough. Then she brings you down to the long roads at about the exact same time that you guys come back from the sewers. Yay, continuity. So, you know, you guys come in through the sewers entrance, and everybody's kind of sitting and waiting at the table. It's also pretty early, by the way. If you remember, it is... You escaped kind of in the middle of the night and spend most of the night going through the sewers, and now, Hedem and Haste, draped across your back, you have finally reached the long roads. What do you want to do?
I throw him on the ground.
I think
Okay.
we should get him some more medical attention.
Oh, so tiring.
Probably smart.
I throw him as far as I can toward a doctor.
I start kind of recording the events as they go.
I say, Hunter, I'm glad to see you've decided to rejoin us.
I make a disguise check.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Wait, are you-
39
oh,
to
wait.
determine if I'm actually Hunter.
Wait, are you in disguise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, maybe I might be able to do this.
The one character who can, maybe.
No.
You try. So burn all your inspiration.
What is your plus 21 for? Like,
It's
I
a
don't know.
vigilante
It's
class
like a
feature.
special vigilante class feature, yeah.
Yeah, well, but what does that mean? I don't get it.
So-
What does it mean vigilante and social are the same person?
So vigilantes have a class feature that has a social personality and a vigilante personality, and you can change between the two, and each has its own set of talents. So, like, if you're in your vigilante persona, you don't want to get caught in your vigilante persona as, like, your social. So, like, it's basically Batman. It's like, vigilante is Batman, social is Bruce Wayne.
So this says you get plus 21 if Batman and Bruce Wayne are the same person?
No, like, if you're trying to figure out that Batman and Bruce Wayne are the same person, yeah, they get a plus 21 to the disguise check to say that, no, I'm not that person.
Oh, I see.
And, like, they also have shit that, like, blocks scrying, their vigilante identity, shit like that.
In that case, I say, who the hell is this? Get him out of here. We have business to
Can we
attend
just
to.
talk about this guy? I think...
I'll try and throw him out for you.
Well, first of all, we talked about Hunter St. Kexton, who we all know. We did not talk about whatever the fuck this is.
That's true.
Thunder, what is this?
Oh, I go back up the homies.
Gondor looks at Hunter and is just like, do you want to do this? You should I?
Mom and Dad, I'm gay, but I say no. Hunter St. Kexton can't be on the front lines, but the Bloodied Quill can be.
Oh boy.
Please try again.
Wow, Enoch, hater. Hater's gonna hate.
Count me in for your little rebellion. We're gonna log the truth, and we're gonna smear it all over this town.
Like shit.
Bloodied Quill?
I think it's a fine name, Mark.
I think it's
I
a fine
say-
name, too.
Well,
Patronizingly.
it's just well, the thing is, like, I figured it was just stupid enough that it's like, who's this fucking bloody quill idiot? That it's like by the end, by the end of the
Mark
campaign.
is using the traditional. See, I made a lame name because it was funny, guys.
No,
Defense.
but here's the thing, right? It's like a stupid name that gets better by the end of the campaign because people are like, oh, who's this bloody quill idiot? That it's like, oh fuck, it's the bloody goddamn quill. Like, it doesn't
enough.
sound dangerous until it is.
still it is.
So do you tell us that you're on Drigexton as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and
So,
say, you know,
Marty
I
has
got
that knowledge.
What does the bloody quill wear?
Well, what's in his appearance? Like, I figure like the appearances are pretty 1-to-1. So he
Okay.
wears like a Grey Gardener's uniform that he's sufficiently modified.
Hmm.
He has a shield and a long sword.
We could run some really dumb stuff because I can like drink a potion and be also the bloody quill.
Or alternatively, he could be Hunter Kexton.
Oh yeah, that would be good. That'd be some good shit. To be like, oh yeah, see, I'm definitely not him.
Mm.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
That is hypothetically an interesting way to go about it. You guys also notice that Clenched Jaw is there. And Clenched Jaw looks at you guys and says, well, you know, I'm glad that you've had this reunion, but we've got some big problems that we need to handle. And Condor goes, right, you fucking he brings you guys to the table and he says, so after everything that happened last night, not that I'm trying to blame anyone for anything, don't get defensive on me, but after everything that happened last night, we are in a precarious spot. The Chelish Citizens Group, Kenrob Jaltero, his compatriots were killed in the fight, but he himself was apprehended by Johann Bauer after and brought back to Citadel Vol, which is, you know, knowledge, history, easy checks. That is the base of the Hell Knights. Right now, Kenrov Jaltero sits in a dungeon at the bottom of Citadel Vol, but as soon as he's released, he has all of your faces and some of your names probably to just spread all throughout these people. We need to make sure that he dies, and we need to figure out some way to get into Citadel Vol to do it.
Maybe it's time to get arrested again.
Beauregard okay with us doing this?
Ken Riv is how do I put this? He is a shithead. And I do not think it is a mistake that my esteemed cousin, I suppose, is reluctant to talk of as. So no, I have no problem with eliminating Kenrev if necessary.
Would it be possible for us to just get him out of there?
Hypothetically, there is a non-lethal option. I'm sure that if you get him out of Citadel Vol and you can get him... So the problem with Citadel Vol is it's enchanted, right? And it is literally the most dangerous place for me to use my magic, even as long range as it is. If I astrally project and I go into Citadel Vol, I have no idea what kinds of wards and abjurations I'd be setting off. And the last thing I need is to make sure, is to, you know, feed Tonrik Bauer my location, right? The guy's already hunting all throughout the city to try and put a knife through my, you know, heart. But I have confirmed with the divination that I can use that he is in that dungeon, and I have also confirmed that there's negotiations right now between the Order of the Torrents and the Chelish Citizens Group about getting him back. I don't think we have a lot of time to wait on this.
Why are they concerned? Aren't they
Well,
on the same side?
There is infighting, it looks like. It's tough. I got this by dividing in on some lower level Brotherhood members who are just kind of sharing the scuttlebutt, so I'm not exactly sure what's rumor and what's conjecture and speculation and, you know, what have you, but it seems as though Kenrov was behaving quite poorly, and, you know, Johann, Tunrik's son, taking him in was a step too far. But rather than abandon his son, right, and chastise him, Tonrik has just backed him up. And so this is the kind of face-off that we're looking at between the two of them.
Is there any self-interest on either side that we could potentially...
I have worked to try and find a way into the Order of the Torrent for years, decades, honestly. I was working with Ben Rogar without too much trouble and his watch captains and all the rest of it, but it was impossible for me to crack the Order of the Torrent. They were quite resistant, shall we say, to the kinds of temptations that I was offering. I doubt that we'd be able to find similar inroads now.
I'm sorry for getting us off track. I believe we're talking about killing.
You mentioned a potential non-lethal option. What do you believe that looks like?
If you can get him outside of Citadel Ball, away from those enchantments that put me in danger, I can, and specifically bring him to a place where I can mess with his head. Basically, I can mess with his head, and I might be able to erase memories or change them or any of those other things that would allow me to make him forget your faces and your names.
I think burning is much simpler.
It's simple.
Fair enough.
I mean, we'll keep it in mind.
I don't like
Maybe
these
if
things.
we could somehow use this scrying or this mental altering ability to get to further drive a wedge between Barzillai Thrun and his lieutenants, that's a good thing. I can understand using magic in this way, but if the shit hits the fan, so will the hands turn into burning. Ancient elf saying.
I look at Go on. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, how important is he to the Chelish Citizens Guard?
He's not very, it seems like. The big importance that he seems to have is that he's just a minor officer, mostly based on his nobility. Nobody seems to like him or want him specifically, but it is an affront to Regregious's control, right? If one of Tonrik's men can bring one of his guys in, that's disrespectful, and it brings disgrace on him and everything like that. So I think that's really what's at stake here, is the power dynamics between the Chelish Citizens Group and the Order of the Torrent.
One other thing that we might consider is that if we are to execute my nephew, and
Is he on the Shadowvale side or on the other side?
he is on the Jeltaro side. His name is Kenrev Jeltaro. And it was just to get back to my family that we were responsible. Regardless of my own ties, we have turned a potential ally into a potentially very dangerous enemy. It may be worth exploring options within the Jeltaro household to leverage their influence to try and resolve this. I doubt. What is the head of the house's name? I can't remember.
Canton.
What I doubt is in Canton's interest for Kenrev to be in prison for a long time, or for him to be involved in any sort of scandal. Is also greatly within his interest for me not to be involved in any scandal. And if Kenrev outs me, that's trouble all around. I'm sure.
Canton aware of us?
Canton, I do not believe is it's the Jeltaro household. I cannot say.
The Shadowvales are very much, at least, if not in league, they know of our activities and have provided certain
The Shadowvales
Deals are in league.
Yeah, they're straight up in league with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. They're not like field
But
foot-
the
my
Jeltaro.
point was
The
the Jelteros are not, right?
The Jelteros, however, are in the business of information brokering. And so while I cannot directly confirm that they know, I can say that with high probability that they've probably got some information.
I've known Canton Joltero a long time. He's always quick on the uptake. I doubt that if there is, if there's anybody who knows what we're doing, it's probably him, and it's probably his network of information brokers.
It's like someone to not be on his bad side.
But I've got to tell you, I think that the Joltero angle is probably the best bet. I can't think of another way that we could get into Citadel Vault that doesn't spill blood, and I don't really think that any of us are prepared to, take on the entire Order of the Torrent in melee combat.
Well, it wouldn't be just melee. With that, I may chant something around.
St. Kexton could ask around about getting some interviews. He writes books.
That's true, but we don't have a lot of time is the other thing.
My esteemed cousin has left me with instructions on how to contact him if necessary. I believe setting up a meeting with him would probably be to the best of our interests, unless there is some sort of strong objection from anybody else in this group. I think that is the correct course of action.
Seems like the cleanest course of action.
Fair enough. Do it. I don't think we even have time
Very
to
well.
debate it any more than we already have been.
Sure, go.
Alright. I'm supposed to go to a smith and drop a thing off and do that.
Yeah, you do all of that stuff. Let's just say, it doesn't take too long for Canton to get his shit together and come see you, and he says, Beauregard, I didn't expect to hear from you, to be honest.
Yes. Can I roll a sense motive to see if that's honest? Like, that he knows, like if he knows what's up?
You sense, what do you sense? You sense that he... you sense that he is dealing with this problem, but he doesn't think there's a connection with you, necessarily.
Okay. I say, I do believe we have a problem of mutual interest. Have you heard of this rebel group called the, Silver Ravens?
I get reports on it from time to time. Seems they've been busy in, in Red Roof helping the tieflings and what have you.
Are you aware of the latest, I'm sure you are aware of the latest unpleasantness with Kenrev?
Yeah, I am dealing with this Kenrav situation as we speak. He, by the way, is becoming increasingly
Yeah.
oh Christ.
Yeah. As you have probably pieced together by this moment, I am significantly involved with this Silver Ravens group, and the incident with Kenrev was precipitated by a confrontation between Kenrev and the Silver Ravens in the bar where he was arrested.
He rubs his temples and he says, Jesus. I guess Jesus doesn't exist. He says,
Sarad Ray or whatever.
Saren Ray. Or, Asmodeus, right?
Yeah, Asmodeus.
He says, Asmodeus, this is the worst news that you could have given me, Beauregard.
I am aware it is unfavorable, but I did not go to Kenrev looking for a fight. He brought the fight to us.
Yeah, but you joined this rebel. I told you to lie low. Could I have been clearer about that? That's not important. Don't even answer that. Okay. What do you want? What do you need? What are we doing about this?
I believe it is in both of our mutual interest to secure Kenrev, remove him from the prison that he is in, and to, how do I put this, alter his perception of the events that night. I do have the means of that alteration, but I do not have the means to, our sticking point is the extraction of Kenrev from the prison where he is being held. I was hoping that you might be able to assist in that endeavor.
What do you mean about the alteration? You gonna fuck with his memories?
Pretty much, yes.
You're not gonna kill him.
I give you my word that that he will not be killed. In fact, I am coming to you because the some other elements of our group do want to do just that, and I would rather keep this in the family, so to speak, rather than causing a citywide incident.
Yeah, I want to avoid that too. All right, if he dies, you're paying for the raised debt, and we're gonna bring him back. There's no way around that.
Absolutely.
But I think, oh Jesus Christ, there's no way I can let him go if he knows that you're a part of this. That would dismantle all of the goodwill that I've been building with, Barzillai Thrun and all of these people. All right, I'll give you a letter and I'll put my stamp on it. I'll put my seal on it. You can go to Citadel Vault as an envoy from House Jaltero. The best way to phrase it, because everything that I'm hearing is that it's a deadlock between the authority of the Chelish Citizens Group and of Tonrik Bauer's, Order of the Torrent. The best way I think you can approach this is to be the middle ground. Release him into the care of his family. Don't release him into the care of the Citizens Group and all of that mess goes away. Tonrik saves face. Regregious saves face.
We extricate ourselves from the situation. All of us. Everything goes back to neutral.
He says, you need to go quickly. Everyone is saying that Barzillai Thrun is going to just choose one. He's going to choose Regregious or Tonrik or, whoever else to get this done. And the last thing that any of us need is for that to happen and you to lose out on time. Just give me a minute and I'll write it down. So he writes down this thing, which basically says, Canton Jaltero, Beauregard is my envoy. Release Kenrov into the custody of me, as his grandfather, etc., etc. It bears his official seal and all that stuff. Head back to the Ravens, show it to them. Gunnar says, "Good. That could work."
All right. So, I am going to use my disguise kit and disguise myself as, let's call it a human, like an anonymous human of the same type of the, that would be an envoy. His name will be,
He specifically, you are the envoy as Beauregard.
As Beauregard?
Beauregard is the envoy. Yeah, because Beauregard is part of the family, right? So Beauregard is the envoy.
Okay, that's fine then. All right, then I am Beauregard, and we will go. We will go.
Gondor recommends obviously that you take everybody with you.
Of course.
If things get hairy.
I explained the part about us not killing him and us having to pay for the resurrection if we do kill him to everybody.
You can pay.
It would basically bankrupt you guys, but I think you could technically afford it.
Oof.
Afford what?
Paying for his raised dead if Kenrop dies in this whole thing.
Ah.
I could just use my social persona to craft books, sell those for cash monies.
Yep.
The rebellion lays slow for 3 years as we gain capital.
We didn't quite get that initial round of.
Oh, I said the rebellion lays low for 3 years as we gain capital.
Oh god.
Yeah. Downtime rules, boys. Let's do it.
Alright, so then we should all head to, what's the name of the Citadel again?
Citadel Vault.
We should all head to Citadel Vault then, post-haste.
Post-haste.
Post
Just give me 1 minute. I have to go to the bathroom. So 5 minute break.
Copy.
To be honest, like, if we were to go to Resurrection, we could just keep him dead for, like, up to 10 years.
The
It's
issue
like
there,
travel.
the issue is not with.
Raised Dead doesn't work that way. I
No, I'm
decided
saying
to not
Resurrection.
make it a thing in the
Resurrection, you get 10 years. But it's
Resurrection.
10k. Yeah, but we'll need like a level 7 cleric or oracle.
The issue there is with is making an enemy of House Shaltero.
Nah, yeah.
Rakox should care. Rakox gets exposed as a member of the Silver Raisins by House Shaltero.
Ooh, the
And-
Silver Raisins, new name.
Oh man.
You can kiss what's her nuts goodbye.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Never gonna get your wife back.
Then I guess I'll kidnap her and we'll just flee the country.
Okay, Borat, calm
Can't get out
down.
of the city.
I've never actually watched
Charge will
Borat.
not
I don't know
get
what the
through
reference
walls.
is.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what the reference is.
You're like the last person I would expect to have not watched Borat.
That's a great way to put it.
Would I
It's,
be
it's,
like,
it's,
what?
it's more Enoch than Enoch, the movie, with no anime. Imagine if they did like an anime Borat, I would just be like, alright, this is your spirit animal. Not
Sacha
really.
Baron Cohen is my spirit animal?
Yeah, not really. I'm just kind of taking the joke too far at this point.
You can take it farther.
I can.
I mean, take me higher.
Higher. Higher off the
higher.
ground.
I said your love keeps on don't.
Also, like, the thing you linked in GFC Mango, plus plus.
Mhm.
What did he link in the GFC?
An honest description of all of the Overwatch characters.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
a
I
gift.
feel like I might have seen that. It's a GIF?
Yeah. I assume that's the one that Mark's talking about.
It is, yeah.
Oh, there's also a YouTube link to the YouTubes.
Yeah, so backup plan is we do some voodoo magic to make him look like not him, and I turn myself into him, and I sit in the prison instead.
I was gonna bring that up.
Not a bad idea. I mean,
That's backup
I
plan.
was also, we could also maybe, I don't know, that's probably a decent idea.
I mean, also, just that trick might be useful with the Cello Citizens group since we're trying to become a part of it.
Mm.
But we shouldn't kill him. We should avoid it.
I wonder if he has the power to deputize people. Was it I can impersonate?
Corridor?
No, Kenrev.
Oh, yeah, no, I really want to get someone into this Cello Citizens Rebellion.
If he has the power to deputize people, I can impersonate him and deputize us.
Remember, Buddy didn't hear about this plan. He might want to know. Fuck.
Or we might want to spring it on him so that he's forced to react on the fly.
That's fine.
Because that will work in our favor, most definitely.
Yep.
Always does.
So how are you all doing today?
I am fine. I'm playing
Pretty
Overwatch
good.
while we wait.
Also, if
Also,
Alexa...
while we not wait.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll poke you if we need you to do a spell real good.
I am playing as could be really bad.
Like, to be honest, I don't know if I should be there. Like,
Oh, you might. Oh, that's.
why
Huh.
should you not be there?
He was a very. I don't know. He did defend Kenrev though.
I mean, it's also hard to, like, not recognize me because I'm, like, probably the only Catman in the entire, like...
Right, but you also defended Kenrev.
Well, he also saw me, like, leave, too.
I mean, aren't we all mostly suspicious? Like, I am suspected of being a
I was also
spy.
carrying him, too, when, like,
You
he shot the
also
arrow.
should just be there. I'm gonna move you to
Great
the.
explanation. Those are not
That's what we call a GM hint.
Okay.
Hold
I
on,
gotta
wait,
reveal parts of
is
this
everyone
map.
clear on the plan?
Basically,
Hang on, before we do that, let me see if I have any particular matchups
combat
that I
map.
can prepare for this. Besides, the usual burning and shit.
Where are we on this map?
I'm gonna reveal it in a second. There should be a big empty spot that says entrance.
Which side?
The top side.
upper left.
Top middle.
Oh yeah, entrance.
For level 3,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, no
Yeah, you
good
get to
level
level
12.
3. Yep, it says the entrance. Okay, so Citadel Vault is actually a really big building. To give you a sense of its scale. Oh boy.
Why does our health
Why?
keep getting reset?
Well, this is a new
Oh,
day.
because I keep pulling you from. I'm pulling you from the book itself. That like width at the top. Those black borders are. I'll try and trace this out a little bit. So basically, Citadel Vol is.
By the way, buddy, is our negative shit, like I have a negative thing to my... Is that gone?
Negative. What do you mean?
I got some sickness.
Oh, did they change the fucking sheet again?
Yeah, they changed the sheet
Yeah,
again.
they cheated.
I-
They changed it.
Fuck
I
that.
really wish
Oh,
you could
did
turn
they
off
really?
the sheet changes. Like, I wish that
They
was
keep
an
doing it.
option. Yeah, like, I wish you could just say, no, I'm sick of changing it.
Where's my base buffs damage? Can
It
I
might
heal my
screw with
damage?
some of you in the back rows. Like it did last time when it changed the first time.
Gonna try and reveal some of this to give you sense of scope without revealing the whole thing. Okay. Oh well, I fucked that up. So it's a really big thing. It's like a big castle, but basically what it looks like is it's these kind of 4 towers, so to speak. Like there's a big central building, and then there's kind of these towers with kind of bridges on like the second floor out to those towers, and then those stairs in front of it head up so that when you enter the building, you're entering in on the second floor almost, right? But down and around you is kind of like training fields and shit, where it's obvious that the Hell Knights train. There's 2 Dotari guards on either side.
The Hell Knights
of
are the magicians, right?
No, so what the Hell Knights do, the Hell Knights are kind of like, really not a good analogy for this. Basically, so in Pathfinder, because people can become high-level wizards and just like walk into a village of commoners and blow them up, you know what I mean? Like, there's just there's a lot of ability to become like super powerful and just like wreck kids. The Order of the Torrent is like a defense against that. Basically, these are people whose specific function is to go and find the high-level wizards that enslave entire villages and just kill them inside.
Sounds
of
like it'll be
Goliath.
good for me.
This sounds really nice for a group titled the Hell Knights.
Yeah. The Hell. I mean, you guys can roll like history and shit if you want more information on the Hell Knights.
I would love to. Hang on, let me find skills. Wait, where's the roll button now? There it is.
So, the Hell Knights are pretty famous in Kintargo. Tonrik has been the lictor of these Hell Knights for about 10 years. He's been doing it for a long time. He is he's been a very weird lictor, especially from what you would kind of expect, like the Hell Knights to be, because he does it. Oh, whoops! I shouldn't have revealed that. I was trying to hide that. Whoopsie. He doesn't really follow the rules, and he kind of doesn't give a shit, right? His priorities are different than a lot of the other Hell Knight orders. Like, for instance, something that is, he has abandoned a lot of the Asmodean traditions of the Hell Knights, and typically Hell Knight orders don't do this because they get a ton of funding from the Church of Asmodeus, and Tonrik was just like, I don't care. I think it's stupid that signifiers have to wear these masks for the rest of their lives, so I'm going to remove that tradition. And then Corrin, seeing Grivener, was like, fine, I'm not giving you money. And then Tonrik was like, well, fine, I guess I'll have to figure out other ways to get cash, which he has been less successful at, which is part of the reason that he, curries favor with noble houses and all that kind of stuff. But otherwise, he is well regarded in the city, and especially kind of like the surrounding countryside, even though the kind of job description of the Hell Knights is especially gruesome, from like a perspective of they run around executing people with kind of fishy causes, as evidenced by the Gondor thing, right? The common folk who live, who very really and truly live in fear of some sorcerer walking into their town, casting 3 or 4 fireballs and completely, destroying the place, right? The Hell Knights are their protection against that. And so he is a popular he's a popular guy, especially from the citizenry of kind of Kintargo and the surrounding countryside. But yeah. Do you have any other questions?
So you said that Tonrik likes to get himself involved with the noble houses, eh?
Yeah, Tonrik relies on the noble houses to kind of fund his, to fund his endeavors, right? The nobles are the best source of funding because they have just kind of the most cash. It's one of the reasons that he recruits from the noble houses. I think one of you knows that. Jeez, let me look it up real quick because I'm sure it's in one of these family lists. But he likes to recruit nobles specifically because it means their parents are gonna pay, right? This is like Can
I knowledge nobility to see who among the nobles is currently a Hell Knight?
Yeah, sure. All right. That's not a
19.
Plus 19.
Oh, actually, that's a 21.
Oh, with 21, I guess you break it. Hold on, let me look. It's actually in one of these. It's either from Reynolds or Jaltero. I have a feeling it's from House Reynolds. Look.
My eyes start twitching.
So there actually is an Ariandis, or a Jaltero, who is currently a Hell Knight. Ariandis, Jaltero, this is what I wrote however many months ago when I did those big sheets on the nobles. So Ariston Jaltero is Canton's younger brother and has commanded the household guard since before Canton became leader. He's a Templar. He's dedicated to his house more than deity or obligation, and has said inflammatory things about Church of Asmodeus in the past. Ariandis is Ariston's only daughter. Ariandis has trained in battle at her father's behest and is a powerful and dedicated Templar in her own right. Brash and bold, Ariandis joined the Hell Knight Order of the Torrent and currently serves as a lieutenant under Lictor Tonrik Bauer. So she's actually relatively high up.
Let's keep this all in the family. Do we know what where her loyalties lie? Do I know that?
Make another check, I guess.
Which one?
Nobility.
There we go. Oh, that's still not
Solid.
great.
Yeah, I mean,
25.
Fine. Ariandis is more loyal to the to the Hell Knights than she is to the house, but that doesn't mean she's not, loyal to the house, right?
Right.
The Hell Knights and your house kind of have an interesting relationship because they rely to a certain extent on Canton for information, right? He's a good source of information that can be used to complete their contracts, their warrants. So,
Yeah.
I guess he probably should have mentioned that when you talked to him. But hey, whatever.
This is all leverage. Anyway.
Anyway, any other questions before we get going?
I'm just here to observe and record.
Are you
For
going
now.
as the Quill or as?
I'm going as the Quill.
Oof, interesting.
Okay.
Well, because, like, I don't want Kexen. Like, Kexen doesn't want to be seen with you guys.
The,
Possible deniability.
That makes sense. But does the Quill want to be seen?
Yeah.
At the... Okay.
does the Quill look like a superhero?
The Quill looks like a fucking Bloodborne guy.
Okay.
Like, if you look at my icon, it's,
So slightly off, but not so much so.
yeah. I mean, he looks like someone in, conventional dress. Like,
Right.
he looks like an adventurer, but not, a fucking psycho who's here to kill everyone.
All right.
Well, that's good, I guess. Not being a psycho who wants to kill people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, also, has there been a day between when we got back?
Oh no! So
yeah.
The other thing is, you guys need to. Do you guys know how endurance checks work or whatever? Do you need to roll fortitude saves to keep from being like fatigued? You're not getting any sleep, right?
Oh, okay, really?
Okay, so we gotta do that.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Okay.
I don't think there's
Fortitude
actually
saves.
a save.
There actually isn't.
Yeah, it's just,
Really?
it's just
There's nothing for
fatigue.
that?
Nope, nothing.
You just get fatigued.
No, actually, no. I think there's like no rule. That's like a long running thing that like there's actually no real penalty for not sleeping by Raw.
Really? Well, you roll fortitude save anyway.
Okay.
That's fucking stupid. That's fine. That's fine.
Save. Hang on. Gotta
Hunter,
find
you're
it.
fine because you weren't
I
part of
was
the mission last night.
adventuring, yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck? I always forget where these things are.
They also move them all, so you know.
Are they on?
Defenses.
Are they on core?
No, defenses.
No defense.
Oh, sorry. I'm
Beauregard
wrong.
fails.
Ooh. Guard.
Alaric fails.
Ooh.
So I'm
Yeah.
fatigued.
I
Yeah.
thought it would be.
I get a +4.
That's just plus
You
2.
would get a +4.
That's just a -2 to like attacking, right?
Burcox is fine.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. The save DC is 13.
I rolled a 17.
Fair enough.
I get a +5. Let's see if it works.
Jimmy's fine. And then
Jimmy,
Merrick is
who
also
is
fine.
this?
Okay, so it's only Beauregard and Alaric who are.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
good. The two most combat capable members of the.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I play-
I'm going to reveal the inners thing, and you guys are going to walk up. So, you walk up to the second floor thing. The Citadel basically has these hallways that stretch out to the right and to the left, and they're the kind of like these doors that end. There are these doors. Sorry, did I reveal that? Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So those white things, those are doors to the bridges that go to those kind of individual towers on either side. But in the middle, there's basically these black walls, and then there's a counter, and sitting behind that counter is Johann Bauer. And then those like brown things are kind of like little barriers, kind of like
It's like a desk kind of thing, like one
yeah,
of those counters.
just so that if you walk up, right, you just can't walk into the middle of the Hell Knight's fucking place, right? Yeah, you have to kind of be like let in, almost like those little those like half kind of waist high door things in like a courtroom, if that makes sense. But anyway.
Is Johann Bauer that guy that Enoch met at the bar that one time and wanted to fight him? Like
Yeah,
the first
yeah,
time we
yep,
were?
yep,
Okay,
yep,
I wasn't sure that was the same guy as that.
Oh boy.
Enoch in some trouble.
Oh boy.
Trying to start a fight.
Oh.
Alright, so are we gonna go do this?
I guess so.
Nathan never.
Alright, let's do it. Let's go.
Alright.
You take the lead?
Yeah, I will lead the envoy of House Jaltero into the atrium.
Should we maybe be a little bit back from you?
Wait, why am I flipped? Oh my god, ah!
I approach the main desk and say,
Here,
hello,
I'll come with Beauregard. I look very regal.
hello, my good man.
Oh, turned okay.
Johan looks exhausted. He probably hasn't gotten much sleep either, but, you know, he's doing his duty, manning the front desk kind of thing, and he sees you and he recognizes you and he says, hey, what, you were at the bar last night.
Yes, I was. I left very shortly before, I heard some racket break out, and I hasted my way, to a different area. But yes, I was at the bar. I cowered to avoid the fighting. I am not a fighter.
You can tell that Johan's a little bit stressed out, and he says, "Oh Jesus Christ, is this what's the reason that you're here?"
It does concern last night, but I come as a Jaltaro. I come as the envoy of House Jaltaro. I am Beauregard Jaltaro. Pleasure to make your acquaintance in this formal setting. And we would like to talk about the status of my dear nephew, Kenrev, and what can be done to deal with his current status.
I was afraid you might say that. That has obviously been. Okay, sorry. I don't know if you know everything that's been happening. For his misconduct last night, I made the call to arrest Kenrev and to bring him here, which is perfectly legal. As a Hell Knight, you know, as a Hell Knight Order of the Torrent, I am, you know, permitted to make those kinds of to make that kind of judgment call. He's been sitting in our dungeons. He's still in our dungeons. We've been in contact with the Chelish Citizens group, who are, you know, he I guess is one of them, and he was at that bar on CCG orders for fulfilling a CCG mission. Right now, it's unclear whether or not what's going to happen to him, but I doubt he's going to stay in that dungeon all that much longer. I think he's going to be released to a certain extent soon.
I have heard, and I have heard that there is a bit of a situation at hand, both for you and for the Chelish Citizens group. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. He like leans forward on the desk on his elbows, and he says, "Yeah, it's a huge clusterfuck." I was doing my job. You know, it was legal. Everything that I did was legal. I could arrest him, and that was my prerogative because he was, you know, he was being racist, and he started this fight, and but now, you know, CCG officers are dead, and he's in this prison, and there's, you know, all this other stuff that went on. Right now, we are apparently waiting on Barzillai Thrune to make a decision about how we want to move forward with it. My father has recommended that this man be stripped of his status in the Chelish Citizens group for his, you know, for his conduct. But I don't know. He's meeting with Baron Rogar upstairs, actually. So
I say to him, I may have a proverbial sword for your Gordian knot of an issue. If you would like to hear my
Gordian knot. This isn't a myth from
Wow.
my world.
There's
Wow.
no agreed.
You idiot.
They don't have the Gordian knot, they only have the Stevian knot.
I don't know why that was so funny, but it's just because I think of you as a very nice guy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
you
Like,
idiot.
you know, like I'm a dude. You know, like, I'm a jerk, and everybody, you know, all these other people, like, Jimmy is fundamentally
Uh.
like a good guy, so when Jimmy goes, you idiot!
Very good delivery.
I may have a solution for your Varisian puzzle box, as it were.
You had to go with the gypsy, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Filthy Parisians. Anyway,
Are you the right person to talk up to this proposal about, or should I seek someone else?
Look, I'm just a signifier here. I'm rank and file, but if you want me to talk to my father about this, you know,
Yeah. So
I can do that.
so here.
Especially if you're gonna get me, you know, especially if you're gonna get me out of hot water.
So, here is the proposal. You release Kenrev Jaltaro to me to the care of the Jaltaro family. By doing this, you avoid the potential problem that comes from who essentially gets control of Kenrev, the citizens group or the Hell Knights. And I think most of your problems kind of just disappear as mostly no harm, no foul. And the Jaltaros will take full responsibility for Kenrev moving forward. The other piece of this is that I am sure the Jaltaro family, or I can tell you that the Jaltaro family will be very grateful for this organization's cooperation in the matter, which I know I know that, or rather, our family is inclined to increase our already sizable donation to the Hell Knight Order.
He considers this for a second, a little bit kind of unsure.
Perhaps a persuasion?
Do you want me to roll something for it?
Yeah. Roll a persuasion.
Diplomacy?
Diplomacy,
I just
sorry.
forgot what it was called.
God damn it, Chuck Lose.
Is he a city official? Is he a city official?
Yes.
Aha, that's a 26 then.
Oof. It's not tough to convince him because obviously he does have some self-interest on the line. But he says, you know, I think that that's something of an elegant solution. I mean, you know, half of this is that it's about my father's, you know, kind of reputation on the line, right? Like, he loses face if he releases Kenrav, right? Because that's undermining his authority, but Kenrav also loses face if we keep Kenrav because it's undermining his authority, and maybe this is, you know, maybe this is a middle ground that we can work with. But I can't make that decision. Only my dad can. I honestly don't know how much longer he's going to take, but I can run up there if you don't mind waiting for a minute.
Of course.
What's upstairs right now?
My father's talking to Baron Rogar. You know, Baron is obviously another member of the council, so he has a little bit of an opinion on how these things are going, especially because he's kind of the third law enforcement group in the city, and you know, us and the Chelish Citizens group are warring. Anyway, so he goes upstairs. He disappears for a second. I'm not even gonna move his token because he comes back down and he says, you know, I pitched this to my dad, and and you know, he's still meeting upstairs, but he says he's gonna be down to talk to you about it in a minute. He wants to, you know, face to face.
Of course.
Surprise,
quick
surprise.
question.
Diplomacy challenge.
Mark, oh, yo, you think this is a diplomacy challenge?
Yeah.
Mark, is your disguise magical?
It's
How does
it's
the vigilante
extraordinary.
disguise? Does that count as magical?
No, because extraordinary is just So okay, it's an extraordinary ability, so that means it's not affected by magic at all.
Okay.
Furthermore, changing identities is more than just changing outfits and clothing. Furthermore, blah blah blah. When an identity is treated having that identity's alignment for all spells, magic items, and abilities, any attempts to scry or otherwise locate the vigilante only work if the vigilante is currently in the identity the creature is attempting to locate.
Gotcha. Just wanted to
Yeah.
check that out. Obviously, like
You
I
can't-
said,
yeah.
Citadel Vault has enchantments.
Right.
And I wanted to address
Yeah.
that real quick. But coming downstairs is a big group. They come down from upstairs, basically. The first person down is Conric Bauer, who's this guy. I don't know if this is the first time you guys have seen him up close, but that's his character model. Baron Rogar is, not far behind him. Tonric has 2 Hell Knights in tow, and Beauregard, you would specifically notice that, Ariandis is literally right there on his left side. And there are 2 Dotari who are basically escorting Baron Rogar. They kind of finish their conversation, and Tonric says, I appreciate your support. I think it's gonna, go a long way to convincing the parent count. Baron nods. He looks at you all, and he kind of smiles, almost a little bit of a smirk, and he says,
The sense motive. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Well, guys, we've been had.
Wow.
We are now. Everything's over.
Beauregard,
Yeah,
you used the nat. You got a nat 20.
Oh, that was I did.
Well, he rolls them hidden for us.
I rolled
Got
it,
it.
yeah, so that you guys can't see it. But I just wanted to let you know that you rolled a nat 20. So, because it's hilarious that you rolled a nat 20 on this sense motive. There's something, there's something there, right? It looks as though he recognizes you, right? You've never seen Baron Rogar in your life, but he looks at you like, oh, hey, these guys, I know these guys. But he doesn't, he doesn't say anything, he doesn't do anything. He just walks out after saying, farewell to Tonric and Ariandis. Ariandis has particularly polished armor. Tonric's armor is like the exact opposite. You can't really see it in that picture because that picture isn't like a one-to-one representation. But basically, Tonric has black and red armor, and it is all kinds of fucked up, right? Like it's scratched, and it's got the paint and the enameling is like chipped in certain places. But it's got that Hell Knight emblem on the front. He's got a big black cape with a red outline and these 2 big ass swords kind of strapped to his back. But they're not actually strapped, they're held there magically, because that's how cool he is. He looks at you and he says, greetings. My name is Tonric Bauer. I'm the lictor of the Hell Knight Order of the Torrent.
Beauregard Jaltaro, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Do you have credentials?
I hand over my the letter from Kenton.
He hands it off to Ariandis. Oh, by the way, like I was saying before, Ariandis' armor is very polished, and you can actually see that her sword isn't in a scabbard. It's just kind of attached at her hip, almost kind of like a magnet or whatever. But the sword itself looks to be made out of like glass or like crystal. It's like it's transparent, honestly. Like you can see it's there and everything, but like, yeah.
I say hello, hello, cousin Ariandis. How are you?
She says, I don't, she smiles, and she says, I don't need to see the seal to know that this is Beauregard, but really quickly, this is definitely the seal of my house, and, I think that Canton came here, I think that Canton's sending him in good faith. Tonric nods, though he kind of has a scowl on his face. He says, so, I understand that you have a proposition for me.
Huh?
Make your peace.
Our proposition is that Kenrev Jaltaro be released to the care of House Jaltaro, or released to us to be brought back to House Jaltaro in care of House Jaltaro, thus avoiding, as I'm sure your son has described to you, thus avoiding the political quagmire that you seem to find yourself in, and Also avoiding the political quagmire that House Jaltaro would also like to not be in. And we think that this is the best course of action for all parties involved.
What political quagmire is House Jaltaro in?
Having a son of House Jaltaro arrested is not great for our public image.
Fair enough. You see that his eyes kind of like wander over the whole group, and he spends time, like looking over each of you. He spends a specific amount of time looking at Rakax, and he kind of points to Rakax and says, "You. I know you. Your name is Rakax."
Who says
Oh,
this,
he
by the way?
actually...
Tonrik Bauer is saying this to Rakax.
Enoch said be right back, like, maybe 2 minutes ago.
I bet he's eating dinner. Well, we'll put a pin in that for a second.
Yeah,
At 10 o'clock, okay.
He says, I'm waiting on a judgment from the Paracount from Barzillai Thrune about how to move forward with this. Benregard has pledged his support to my actions because everything that I've done, everything that my son has done, and everything specifically that your cousin or whatever has done has been, well, everything that I've done, everything that my son has done has been legal, and everything that your cousin did was illegal, and we were entirely in the right to imprison him for the behavior that he was showing in that tavern or whatever. I don't necessarily know that. Yeah, I don't necessarily know what I gained by releasing him to your custody before waiting for Barzillai to enforce my decision.
Are you sure that Barzillai will back you above the Chalice Citizens Group?
More sure than I am of your intentions, being that I've met Barzillai personally, and this is the first time that you and I are ever speaking.
That is a fair statement. Are you not concerned about the relationship between your organization and both the Chalice Citizens Group and that of House Jaltaro? And while I know that my dear cousin holds an esteemed office in this organization, the House Jaltaro prefers to not have its house divided against itself. I kind of pointedly look at Ariandis.
Ariandis says, I have no split loyalties, and I don't really think that Kenrav Jaltaro is the future of House Jaltaro in the first place. Tonrik backs her up and says, this is my understanding as well. Kenrav is a buffoon, from everything that I've heard. And from everything that I've heard, his father is also a buffoon, which is the reason that Canton hasn't named him heir. And is Kenrav really that valuable to your house?
He is the grandson of the patriarch of the house. What he may lack in social grace, he makes up for in pureness of bloodline, as it were. And his political importance is hard to House Jaltaro.
Do you doubt my commitment to your house? Ariandis Bauer is my most trusted lieutenant, and she sits next to me on every meeting I take.
You may, that may be true, but you are also holding, as I have said, the grandson of the patriarch of House Jaltaro in your dungeon.
The grandson of the patriarch of House Jaltaro committed a crime, and my son did his duty by bringing him in for it.
I'm not arguing the facts of the matter. I'm saying that the facts are not particularly relevant in this situation.
I'm surprised that you want the Order of the Torrent and the Chalice Citizens Group to make nice.
I am more concerned with the affairs of House Jaltaro and the fate of my dear cousin Kenrev.
And this isn't some kind of threat. You're not here to pull donations from the Order or anything along those lines.
I'm not authorized to make such statements. All I can tell you is the general attitude that will or generally how your actions will be received. And
You're the envoy for your house, and you're not authorized to bargain with me.
oh, I'm not so I'm not authorized to pull funding from your organization. I am authorized to negotiate with you for this particular deal, and I'm authorized to advise you on how the House may react, given your particular actions. But I am not authorized to threaten your wonderful organization, and I would never think of doing such a thing.
Okay, for kind of all of that, just roll a diplomacy check.
Oh boy! Hey!
Hey, Jesus fucking Christ!
And he's
What?
an official,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
37,
Jesus. Oh wow, it's a net 19.
19, and a 5, a 19 and a 5.
Well played. He looks to his son. He says, "You've met these men before." You said, and Johann says, "Yeah, they were actually at the bar with me last night." You were at the bar. Did you run? Did you fight? What was your involvement in?
Personally, I hid. I am but a coward. I am unaware of what my my friends did, but I do believe that they were caught up in the general the general, what's the word, hubbub that occurred. I will point out that beforehand, me and my compatriots did our utmost best to defuse the situation as much as possible.
Johann backs it up. He says, "Yeah, the Leonin actually fought with me to stop this from happening." Enoch, are you back?
Oh yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Tonrik looks at you and he points at you and he says, "I know you. Your name is Rakax, right?"
Yes.
It's how do you find yourself in? I thought you worked with House Reynolds.
Well, I came back one day from a little break, and they didn't let me in anymore. I don't know why.
That is certainly strange. You're not in the employ of House Reynolds anymore. Are you in the employ of House Jaltero? Is this why you're here?
No, I'm just a.
He is my associate, and
I'm
part of
just
my
wandering the streets.
he is part of my personal envoy for this particular mission. He is a personal friend of mine.
Tonrik smiles a little bit. Like not much, but it's like the first time he's actually cracked a smile this whole time. And he says, you've been recommended to be a recruit of mine. Twice, I think. 3 times, maybe, if I remember correctly. Because I think Lorelei Reynolds wanted to. She said you were a fighter with great potential. And
I twitch at the name. I twitch.
And Nathaniel himself also said that you would make a great knight, but unfortunately I'm not permitted to take Hell Knights because they would be spectacular fighters in the field, and I have to worry about the politics. Nevertheless, the politics are what we find ourselves dealing with today. I am not convinced, but I don't think that it is wise for me to turn you away. Kenrov Jaltero is currently residing in my dungeons. I haven't been down there to speak to him personally. In fact, I don't think any of us have. He was basically brought in unconscious once my son made sure that he wasn't a nuisance anymore. But I imagine that he's probably awake at this point. I'll permit you to go see him, at the very least, and then I'm going to talk with some of my officers to make sure that we're making the right decision. Please, feel free to head down there. Johann, show him the way. Tonrik immediately, wheels on, turns on the heel of his foot, and he strides away with Ariandis and his kind of entourage in tow. And Johann says, and Johann kind of like breathes a sigh of relief. He's like, oh. All right, let's head down to the dungeons. He brings you guys forward. You go down one level, and I guess I'll just it's not even worth the time. You go down one level. The next level is kind of like an armory and like a training room-ish thing. There are suits of armor and everything just kind of sitting there. There's also like a blacksmith bit. But then you go down one more level and you find yourselves in the dungeons. The dungeons are a little bit almost like they kind of were in the vault, but these places seem to definitely be magically enchanted, and specifically like on top of the magical enchantments to them. Excuse me. They're much more kind of secure. They have big metal doors on them. Johann talks to the other Hell Knight, and he says, this is an envoy from House Jaltero, and we're going to permit him to head in and talk to the prisoner. Open it up. The Hell Knight opens up the door, and you guys can send in 3 people. Who do you want to send in there?
I suppose me.
Probably the not fighter type.
Also, Alaric and the Bloodied Quill. You guys can make checks.
What kind of checks?
Arcana or Spellcraft.
Okay. Two skills.
I actually don't have spellcraft.
Arcana is good enough. From Alaric specifically, you know that there's a series of enchantments in there, but one of them is basically the same enchantment that it's like a more advanced enchantment of the one that Hedimund Hayes was using. So anything that you guys say in that jail cell will not travel out. It is completely, it's completely soundproofed in there. So, but yeah, you can pick your 3 people.
What is our goal here, I guess, is sort of my question.
Extract Kenrith
But
and wipe his memory.
Oh yeah, I know, I get that. I know that, but what's our goal in talking to him right now?
You have been given the opportunity to talk with him now, because Tonrik hasn't made a decision about whether or not he wants to let you guys out.
So, essentially what we're trying to do is be like, yo, keep quiet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, who's best to do that? It would probably be...
Hey, quick question, buddy.
What up?
Would I have had time to sow my renown talent to get the intimidate bonus?
Yo, yeah. Didn't I say that? Yeah. You have renown in the city.
Great.
All right.
Why don't we send Beauregard, the Quill, Bloody Quill. I can go.
I want somebody with muscle. Marigrug also still has an implanted word from me.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, I do? Oh, okay.
What?
I also have a lot of intimidate, and I did claw him in the face. So.
A quiet word.
I want to talk to Johann.
That's fine. Yeah, you can talk to Johann. In fact, let's do that now. What do you want to say to Johann? While your friends go in, they close the door, and they start talking to him. But what do you want to say to Johann?
I believe we started on the wrong footing way back in the day.
He says, "Yeah, I may have misjudged your intentions. I'm sorry about that."
Sorry about that too. I shake his hand. Do cats shake?
Yeah, you guys have. Yeah, he shakes your hand too.
You lick his face.
I've never met a Landon before, but I was surprised to hear that my father. Knew you.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's a small world.
Really? They didn't tell you that they were recommending you to the Hell Knights?
No, I never heard anything.
Wow. Fair enough, I guess. But I understand, I guess if I was, recommending you, I wouldn't necessarily say anything either. I don't know. I guess my father didn't say anything, but foreigners, they can't join. And I assume at least you're from Rahadum, right?
Yes, I am from Rahadum.
I hate this. I hate that kind of thing. It should just be it's the best people, right? It shouldn't be about who's from where and who worships who and everything. It should just be, can you fight? Are you good at killing bad people? Welcome to the Hell Knights.
It must be tough for you and your father fighting this battle of politics for two warriors.
He rubs his forehead and he says, yeah, my father and I, it's not easy. I tried to be a recruit myself, but I washed out 2 years in a row. The only reason I got in is because I got enough magic training to qualify as a signifier. So here I am, but it's good. I like the Hell Knights. I obviously like I like my dad, and I want to do good. I want to protect the people. I want to protect the people of Kintargo and the people of Ravenel, and this just seems like the best way to do that.
Quite inspiring words. Very honorable.
Sorry, I'm not trying to. I haven't had a lot of sleep, and this whole thing's got me a little. Pick it up.
Alright, I'm good.
Okay. Inside the jail cell, what do you guys want to do? Ken Rob looks at you and he spits in your face, Beauregard, and he says, "Oh, you traitor! You traitor! What, are you gonna kill me now? Are you gonna kill me in the jail cell in the bottom of Citadel Vault? Oh my God, this is delicious. There's no way you're getting out of this."
I just gently lay a hand on his shoulder.
I say, no, Kenrev. I'm here to. Oh, did you want to say something? I don't.
No, I just wanted to be like quiet and scary.
Oh,
So instead, I'm giving him like a back rub.
The Batman.
I say,
Caressing him.
Kenrev, I am here on I'm here on official House Jeltaro business to solve this problem.
I don't know what solution you have in mind, but the one that the one that I'm thinking of sees your head on a spike.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't play coy with me. I saw you whisk him away. Is Hedman Hayes working for you, or with you, or do you work for him, I wonder? I know that you are Rebel Beauregard.
Hedman Hayes? You mean that tiefling fellow back at the bar?
Yeah, the tiefling that you and your friends rescued while we were trying to apprehend him lawfully.
I don't know what you're talking about. I fled at the first sign of danger, as I am a coward. Technically, he wouldn't have seen me because I was in disguise the entire time. I don't know how you call that. Right, like, obviously my friends were doing shit, but I was technically not there.
Jeez.
Or Beauregard.
Really? For some reason
I said I need to go.
Right?
I said I need to go. I changed to somebody that he would have had shit with, and I punched him in the face. Then Rakax bull rushed me into the room. Bull rushed me into the room, and I changed it to a different person, a third person, and then we made our escape. Like, it's not so big of a deal for him to be like, oh, your friends helped him escape, so you're probably involved with this too.
Oh, right. Okay, I guess that. Yeah, I just kind of forgot the specific circumstance. I guess you're right. He says he says, I don't need to have the proof from the other night. I'm sure that it'll bear it out as soon as we have an investigation into all of your activities over the past several weeks. What do your alibis look like? Where have you been putting up your cape? I think it'll be quite informative to start inquiring along those lines.
I say to him, you do know that So I'm here to extract you on behalf of House Jeltaro, and we are going to make this incident disappear. You do know that the Hell Knight
want to kill you.
The Hell Knight Tonrik Bala is very probably going to retain custody of you because you are acting in an illegal manner, and this is your only chance to escape. And on top of that, if you are to expose my associates in some way with whatever fiction you invent, do you think that Kenton will appreciate the stress that will bring down upon our house. I'm here to fix these problems, and it would serve in your best interest and mine and everybody's interest if you just kind of went along with the plan and forgot about this entire ordeal.
Canton, I wager, doesn't necessarily know your involvement in all this, and he will be just as curious as I am to figure out whether or not you are actually rebelling against the throne.
You think that Canton doesn't know? You think that Canton isn't... I don't have Canton's support in this endeavor?
He kind of goes right at you. He says, you're saying that Canton himself is aiding rebels against House Thrune.
I'm not saying that. I would never say that. I would never suggest that our dear patriarch would betray the city of Kintargo as such. But I do find... but I have heard that these rebellion groups have significant resources available to them that would make one suspect that it's not all just from local support and petty thievery.
That sounds like a confirmation to me. I wonder what my investigation will turn up then. Perhaps my father will be inheriting the noble house soon.
You think that if there's... do you understand how our house works? You think that...
Not really. He's kind of stupid, but whatever.
That's fair.
he's kind of retarded.
We are information brokers. This is our lifeblood. If you tear down this effacement with your silly rantings and ravings, there will be nothing left for you to inherit.
We'll see about that. Barzillai Thrune will know to reward those who are loyal to him.
I'm not there, but it seems fairly obvious that currently he's sitting in a jail cell.
Yeah, I said to him, so what's your plan then? Sit here and hope that the Church Citizens Group gains the favor of Barzillai Thrune over the long-serving Hell Knights?
He crosses his arm and he says, I don't think that that's such a strange outcome. I don't know why you think it is.
We know
It's
that...
strange because you're an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Am I? You think Barzillai Thrune isn't smart? You think he doesn't see what's at play here? Obviously, the Hell Knights have been around for so long, but the Challenge Citizens Group is his baby. He created this organization. You think he's going to let this kind of thing be tarnished? You think he's going to let Tonrik Bauer trample all over that? Of course not. He's going to have me released, and he's going to have me released back into the custody of Regregis, and I'm going to tell him all about you, and you, and you, and we're going to find out what rebel activities you are up to, and then we'll put your heads on spikes.
And you think Barzillai Thrune appreciates an officer of said baby group of his gallivanting around causing problems with the other groups in the city they're supposed to keep control? Are you really that dense?
I was keeping control. Plus, I don't think that Barzillai Thrune really
your
likes...
officers died.
I don't think Barzillai Thrune really likes the tieflings all that much. What reason does he have to value their lives any more than mine?
I look around. Who's?
There's one of you.
I look around and I say, and are we being observed closely?
No. Not at all. Not at all.
Can I disguise myself as him and then knock him out?
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
Does this seem like a plan to people?
I'm gonna help you out with that though. Hold on. Can I use Dirty Trick to inflict the shaken condition and then try to intimidate again?
Yeah.
And can I count myself as flanking given the space?
Sure, I guess. Mostly because he's flat-footed.
All right, 27 to Dirty Trick.
Yep, that hits him.
So, yeah, he's shaken, and then I'll try and intimidate again.
Do it, Kexton.
And I say, the only way you walk out of this cell alive is with us. And that's it. You can be, how do you want to be part of history?
Oof, should Merrick and I aid another?
Probably.
Oof, let's do it. You can add a D6 if you want to burn the, if you want to burn my inspiration that I burned on you.
Okay. Why not?
So I guess like to shake him up, I just kind of grab him by the throat.
Roll a D6 to add it if you want to burn it.
Okay.
I think that already beats 10 though.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, so you got 16 check, a 20 check, and a 21 check to...
Hum.
Actually, you know, like I don't like choke him. I just kind of stroke his throat gently. Because I feel like that's even scarier.
So, he's kind of intimidated, in the sense of he isn't giving up on his conspiracy theory here or whatever, but he isn't going to be a problem in the immediate future, if that makes sense, right? Like, as long as you have him in your custody right now, like, he's not gonna run his mouth any longer.
Great.
Momentary success.
Yay. I'd say, will you come then? Will you come quietly?
The truth will bear me out in time.
I'm sure.
Don't run my map anymore. I already have. Crosses his arms defiantly.
Okay. Alright, so, I brought Shaq. I bought manacles, so we can manacle him on our way out, and we should also cover his head. That way, no. I say, or we will wait till it advances to that point.
Disguised as him right now?
No.
No,
That didn't end up happening.
Do we have authority to?
You don't yet have authority,
Yeah.
but
Okay,
It looks like it's going that way. Assuming things go according to plan, I'm also going to suggest that we leave quietly to not bring attention to this stuff. But yeah.
okay. So you head outside. Is there anything else you want to do down here?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm good.
So have we secured Kenrov?
You've secured Kenrov, but you can't move him yet. You can't move him out of the. You can't move him out of the spot.
Okay.
Out of the cell. Hold on a second. And then when you head upstairs, okay, and then when you head upstairs, sitting at the table is Regregious Tumbis and Todrick on opposite ends of the table. A whole bunch of CCG officers are here. A whole bunch of Hell Knights are here.
Oh,
It
boy.
is tense.
Lorelei is here.
Yeah, Lorelei is there. She's on the right of her intended. As soon as you guys, come up from upstairs, Todrick and Regregious both get up. Lorelei looks over. She looks specifically at. She looks over and she looks specifically at Rakox with like a very like, oh my god, I'm so sorry face.
No.
Everybody's
Having fun now.
Everybody's having fun now.
Well, campaign's over. We're all arrested. Dead. That's on spikes. GG.
Oh,
damn it.
The next campaign.
Todrick says, Beauregard, we've been waiting for your return.
Oh.
Regregious Tumbis, the leader of the Chelish Citizens Group. Regregious nods. He's got
Pleasure to make your
really,
acquaintance.
like smuggy, shitty smile on right now.
I
he says, "Oh, I'm glad that you've joined us."
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Beauregard Jaltaro of House Jaltaro. I shake his hand.
Todrick is. Actually, let me roll a quick sense motive because you guys put points in it for a reason.
Yeah. I see you've made the acquaintance of several of my family members. I'm sure that.
Interestingly, Hunter notices this, but nobody else does because we all suck at rolling on my macros. I suck at rolling for you, right? But Hunter notices this. Tonrik is like shaken is kind of the wrong word, but like things haven't panned out the way that he expected, and he's pissed. You know, like he's real mad and salty about it.
He's a little rattled.
And so he says, Regis bears word from the Paracount Barzillai Thrune. Kenrev is to be released into his custody.
Rune's custody?
Into Regis' custody. Regis says, thank you, Lictor Bauer. Sir Bauer, I wanted to personally thank you for coming by and showing this concern for your family member, but he has a new family now, and we will be taking him back to our base because Barzillai Thrune understands loyalty to his cause. He says, almost directly to Tonrik. What do you guys do?
What do
I
you do?
twitch very violently.
You just keep cat twitching.
I started licking myself very furiously.
I mean,
I say, oh, well, what a solution. I say, could I have another word with my cousin?
Yes, if you'd like to go fetch him, that's quite alright.
I kind of look at Beauregard and I'm like, yo, you want me to put the screws to this guy?
I say,
not the Scion, but his cousin.
I say, Quill, let's go retrieve my cousin.
Okay, you guys head back downstairs. The Hell Knight opens up the thing. What do you do?
So does the Hell Knight know what's up?
The Hell Knight outside now. He's just he opens the door, he lets you in, and then he closes it behind you.
and we're still, like, enchanted. No one can hear us.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
these are all plain disguises, so they're not magical. I am going to dress up as my cousin. We need to knock him out, and I need to join Regis, pretending to be my cousin.
What?
We need to dress me up. We need to dress me up as Kenrev. Kenrev up as me.
Out here.
Say that Kenrev that I fainted because I'm so tired. You will carry Beauregard, who is Kenrev, to get his mind wiped, and I will pretend to be Kenrev.
Okay, this possibly can't go wrong.
It can't go wrong, right, guys?
No, it's a great plan.
Okay, roll these disguise checks.
All right.
You need to roll one for you and one
Where
for
has
Kenrev.
anyone who hasn't been there been during all of this?
That's a good question. Anyone who hasn't been there would have seen like the initial thing, right? Where Regis comes in and he doesn't give a shit about these little turnstile things or whatever, and he basically marches right up to Tonrik and he says, "You lose."
Kind of surprised. by that. Anyways,
Barzillai Thrune backs my claim. You were not authorized to take my man into your custody, and you are never authorized to do that to any of my people again. I know you look down on me, and I know you look down on the Chelish Citizens group, but your days are fucking numbered. And I'm gonna take my guy out of here. So why don't you go fetch him? And then Tonrik is like, well, I'm not with him. Currently, there's a representative from his house, an envoy of House Jaltero, who is talking with his cousin. I am not going to go interrupt that. We are going to wait for them to finish. Would you like to have a
So-
seat? Right, like, it's just...
Do Marigrug and I just beat the shit out of him until he falls unconscious?
Yeah, basically, guess so.
Alright.
All right. Disguise check for me. Why did not roll? Where is?
Hypothetically, I should probably roll these, but I'm gonna let you roll them.
That's me. And
Okay.
did I burn? I did. Okay. And
hey, if this doesn't go well, we have a magical point of action.
and there's him.
I throw him over my shoulder.
Actually, can I burn an action point to like guarantee this?
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll burn an action point to make sure that this works out.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh yes.
You do this successfully. Thankfully, you guys are obviously related, so it's not the hardest thing in the world to flip this up, right?
I disguise him as a
Action
small
point burn.
halfling child.
Second action point burn. Oh yes, guys.
No, there's been 3, maybe 4. Because I think also somebody burned an action point to not die. You burned an action point to be awesome.
Oh, really? Someone burned one to not die?
Yeah, didn't,
I think Alaric did.
so I think we're at like 4 or so.
I
okay,
don't
never mind,
remember.
okay.
Did I burn an action point to not die? I don't remember doing that, but it's possible.
I think
you got
remember
hit
the
by a
RP
scorching
ones.
ray that would have like killed you otherwise, but you made it miss.
during the Red Jill fight.
Yeah, that happened.
Anyway, so
I come up.
sure.
So
You come upstairs?
Kenrev
Yes, Kenrev.
comes upstairs and says, "Oh, fucking tieflings, am I right? Dirty cocksuckers!"
I just kind of look at him like, you fucking idiot, what are you doing?
He just walks over. and
that
he
sounds
says,
exactly
Kenrob, I hope they haven't harmed you any more than,
I
Oh,
continue to walk out
It
with
was
full regard,
terrible.
just without saying
In fact, it was so terrible. I was telling my poor cousin Beauregard about it. He was so distraught that he fainted.
Okay, so Rakax, Weirin, and Beauregard all see the fact that Tonrik looks right at Kenrob's face, and, like, you know instantly he sees through this disguise. And he's watching
Hunter's
the bloody
just
girl
walking.
take the other one out, and he's just like, what the shit?
Wait, does he say that? Does Tarek say that?
No, he doesn't.
No,
say
he
anything.
doesn't.
He just
He's
has that
kind
look
of
on
on
his
our
face.
side.
It's like,
has
this
that
is
look on his
Pirates of the
face.
Caribbean level
Well,
shit
because
right
he
here.
doesn't understand what you guys are doing. He doesn't understand why you want to do this, right? To a certain extent, he almost thinks that you're doing it for him, right? Because what stakes do the Jalteros have in this whole thing, right? Why would they want to do? But he's just like, what? But Regregious is completely oblivious to this, and Regregious is just like, oh, good. I am so glad one of my most bright and up-and-coming followers has been released
Wait,
from
is
his
that
unlawful
motive that does
custody.
he think he's actually bright and up and coming? Or is he just
Yeah, me too.
like so fucking smug because like he won?
You got a nat 20, and you know that he is so fucking smug because he won.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure.
He's just trying.
Moron.
Yeah, he's just trying to rub it in. He's just trying to rub it in Donric's face as much as possible.
Meanwhile, Conric's like, what the shit?
anyway.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. Nobody stops me. Just not saying anything.
Nobody stops you at all. He says, Kenrov, we'll head back to, we'll head back to, the castle district is, actually you guys are already in the castle district. I guess there needs to be a good piece.
Wouldn't Beauregard might be, sorry, Beauregard is fainted, but perhaps since he was on official business from House Jaltero, maybe you should let, what's his face?
Yes, I think, actually, it's Kenrith, so I say, shut up, elf! As much as I hate... I say, but I probably should go check in with my grandfather. He will be, worried sick about the implications of this affair, at the very least.
To assure him that
He
the
said,
Hell Knights
and Regregious doesn't even like look at Kenrov for this. He turns around and he looks at Tonrik and he's just like, "Oh, I certainly understand. Please feel free to go tell your father or your grandfather about this whole ordeal, and also take as much time as you need to rest up and get well and get better. I know it must have been traumatizing for you to lose your squad to some rebel tiefling scum who are just." The real plague on this city. And then he turns around, and he kind of grabs Lorelai's arm and almost like wrenches her up from her seat, which is crazy too because Lorelai's actually bigger than him. and
Lorelei
kind of
for Cox's Bay.
yeah, Lorelei is Rakox's Bay. And he says, "Come, Chalice Citizens Group, we have no more business here."
It sounds like they've been coming the entire time.
Yeah.
Hey.
So they walk out.
Oh my god,
It's even
why?
harder. I'm so tilted.
And then, so they leave or whatever.
I
You
leave
guys-
a mark on. Wait, can I carry Kenrov?
I think the Quill was carrying. Quill already carried
took him
Ken
out.
Rob out, right?
I just,
Yeah,
I just,
he just like
No,
bolted.
you
He
didn't.
was just like, "Well, I better take Beauregard home." Bye.
it's like, I said, no, I literally looked at nobody, I said nothing, and I just walked to leave, like, until they stopped me. They didn't. Nobody fucks with the Quill.
Yeah, and I leave with Regregious, and I rendezvous. I take a circuitous route and rendezvous with the party.
Right as you were about to leave, Tonray gets up and he kind of blocks your path and he just says, "Why?"
Who did he block?
He's blocking Ken Rob.
Or
Beauregard.
I say, there are myriad forces at play that that are opaque to you right now, but suffice to say, if we can swing this to make the what's it called, the group, the citizens group look bad, House Sheltaro benefits as well.
Tonray just kind of shakes his head and says, "So be it." So Canton, then, I thank you for this courtesy.
Of course, and I head out. Mission accomplished, boys.
But excellent plan. Buddy, while you were in the bathroom, Megan was like, if everything goes to
I want
shit,
you to know, by the
I'm
way.
going to subscribe to, I'm going to do this bullshit.
So I actually, while I was in the bathroom, I still had my headset on.
Oh,
I
okay.
muted
Oh, there you
myself, so I heard that whole thing.
Okay.
But yeah. So that's where we're gonna end the session. for
Okay.
today.
Phenomenal.
I guess pick it up from there next week.
Just as planned.
Wait,
The dumbest thing that has ever happened.
Sorry.
What?
No. Next week, we have. I actually am also adding one quick filler session too. So we basically have 2 more sessions before the big dungeon.
Okay.
But yeah, so the dungeon thing. Obviously, I've rewritten a lot of this campaign, but the final dungeon for this book is still pretty cool, and so I would like to run that. But I'd like to run it as its own independent unit. Like I'd like to do the whole dungeon from beginning to end, and that's probably going to be longer than we can fit in our kind of 2 to 3 hour window, right? Which is why I want to run it on like a Saturday where we can dedicate 4 to 6, right, to clearing the whole thing. So we don't have to obviously schedule that now, but for 3 weeks out-ish in the future, start thinking about this stuff, and we can try and convene on a good day to run that.
Yeah. So what days would be ideal for that?
Just offhand, right? So next week we are on. So
I'm
next week
gonna
we're on.
stop broadcasting that way people don't have to be privy to our conversation.
It's fine.